Hi everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Connection. I'm your host, Donna Wilberg. Tonight we've got Glenda Gorman, who is an instructor. She's a clairvoyant teacher and trainer at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. We're so happy to have her here. Welcome, Glenda.
Well, thank you, Donna. It's nice to be here. I was really pleased that you called me. That was awesome.
Yeah, I just, you know, we've all heard of the Berkeley Psychic Institute, but I don't think we've ever had anybody on the show from there. So I was really happy that you agreed to come on and talk to us about the Institute.
We're a lot of hiders. Sensitive people are generally big hiders, and they don't like to come out of their closets.
Well, it's a fascinating place.
It is.
And we talked a little bit before the show, and you were telling me what it's like to train someone to
read.
So why don't you go a little bit into that, and then we'll talk about you.
Okay. So we all have spirit. We're psychic. And so we have this life force energy, and we call that spirit. And we all have a body. And body experiences life a lot differently than the spirit does. A lot through, driven by survival needs or emotion or power quests, right? Somebody's got to have a struggle. And as spirit, we want to have these experiences so that we can grow or change. And spirit likes to grow and change. And so the body, sometimes when you come from that body level, you feel your body, oh, it's got these emotions, and you can get tangled up and kind of forget what that is. And what it's like to teach people to read is like you go, okay, we have this place we call centering. It's the center of our head, and that's that sixth chakra. It's where you can see things. You don't have to react to them. You don't have to know what to do about it. You don't have to heal anybody or fix anything. You just get to look and see what's going on. And so how do you get from this rah, 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 I feel, to what does that look like? And that's what we train there. It's like we sit people in line, and we have a match on a knowingness level on that crown chakra level. At the top of your head is that crown chakra. We have a match at that at a vibration. And so they don't have to react to my life, and I can tell them my name and what's going on, and they go, oh, it feels like, and we'll go, well, okay, so you feel this. And clairsentience is a valid spiritual experience. And so you feel this, and what does that look like? And so they get to take a moment and refocus and come into the center of their head and see what that looks like. What does that look like? And then they don't have to respond anymore because they're not coming from a body reaction. They're coming from a, oh, I see what's going on. And it's really a very neat experience. It's really awesome. It was life-changing for me when I went through the process myself.
So for people who are naturally clairsentient or people who are naturally clairaudient, do you help them expand their gifts, or do you just focus and help them, you know, create a stronger connection?
At the Berkeley Psychic Institute, we train psychics. We train you how to see. So we take your ability, if it's clairsentience, clairaudience, or even knowingness, and say, what does that look like to you? Most people are trained at most people when they're born have all of these abilities, and clairvoyance is one of them that's kind of kicked out of them when you're little. Your parents really don't want to see them, have you see them naked, or what's going on in the family, or what the truth is. They want you to, here's the family game, and you've got to buy this game. Yeah. And so, clairvoyance is trained out pretty young sometimes, and so
no imaginary friends.
No imaginary friends. You did not see that. No, you can't have that. I don't know. My family is very serious. We're German, so so you can't have that happen. Yeah. So well, usually it's trained out.
That's kind of segues into my question about your past, because you mentioned in your bio that your dad was in the Navy and that you guys changed locations a lot. And he would always pick out the haunted houses, and your mom wouldn't. Yeah. So what was that like for you as a child?
Man, you grow up, I remember I would have dreams about the house that my dad would pick before we'd move in, because he'd get to a place first, and he'd scout it out, and he'd find a place, and I'd start having those dreams, and I just knew, Lord, it was going to be kind of scary. And I got, I hated to see the beings, they really scared me, so I'd shut it off, and I just, okay, so the door moved, or the rocker rocks and no one's sitting in it, or the window just opened by itself, or whatever. And but my sister would see them, and so it was really funny. She'd go screaming into the room that, or come screaming out of a room where she just saw the lady who lived there or the gentleman who lived there, and yeah, so it could be kind of crazy growing up around that. My dad was really good about picking those kind of places.
That's funny. So were your parents very open about your gifts?
No.
No. Did you find out later in years that they had them as well, and
you
just
know,
kind of kept them?
My dad is a sick psychic. He's what we call an alcoholic.
Okay.
And my mom, she likes to talk about ghost stories and the haunted houses and how cool all of that is. But I don't think either one of them would ever say that they were psychic or could see things or even had that ability. Although I did take my mom on a trip with me once, and she went home and tried to convert the whole state of Wyoming. And then that was just a 2-week trip, so you know, it's fun.
Oh, that's too funny. So what kind of reception have you experienced having the gifts that you have?
You know, I forgot that I had them for a long time. You know, because people who have these gifts are very sensitive people. It's like I said, you know, we're all well, I don't know, I come from, it's hiders. You know, we don't want the world to know that we exist. People get put into institutions for having these abilities, so it's like, whoops, I'm not talking about that. And so I forgot for a little while that I had these abilities, and I became pretty ill myself. Usually when you hold yourself in, you start to not like yourself, you start to not like life, and you start to bring in all of these negative energies because this is what society says you should be like, or and so I forgot. And so when I came back into the Berkeley Psychic Institute, I heard the saying, you can heal yourself, and I went, oh, I know how to do that. I got to learn more about that. And so it was just a big revelation. I had been trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and the only thing that was wrong with me is I was trying to deny my own abilities and fit in. And so, you know, I guess I went kind of crazy. At first I didn't tell anybody I'm going to the Berkeley Psychic Institute. Nope. And you'll hear me say it today too. Nope, I'm going to church. Because it is a seminary for a church, and we train we train postulates. So basically, you know, we have to be a church to train spirit, so it works out real well.
Interesting.
But hiders, yeah, we're all sensitive, and you know, it's like your best friend comes up to you at work, and you can tell she's walking up to you, goes, "Oh my God, I know she had another fight with her husband again," and she comes up to you and she starts talking to you, and you want to make her feel good. So on an energetic level, you start to take some of that pain from her, and you give her some of your happiness, and she's like, "Oh, I feel so much better," and you're like, "Oh, that's really cool," and then she walks off, and you go, "Oh, I don't like myself so well anymore." And then what's even worse is because, you know, we've taken someone else's energy on, we become responsible for it, so we don't know how to let go of it. And this is before I had what I'll call tools that we teach at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. And that's where all that pain comes from. You forget that you got to let them go too, their energy out of your space. You've just got to be you and call your energy back. And
yeah. I never even thought about that.
Yes, we do that all the time, don't we? Try to make people feel good and comfortable around us.
Yes.
And yeah, it's quite fun.
Thank you. You know, I told you that I always get some pearls from these interviews, and that's a huge one. I think I'm going to make a big necklace out of that one. That's super. So, having the gifts that you had as a child and kind of reintroducing yourself as an adult, were you comfortable with where you were going with it, or were you still kind of trying to figure it out for yourself?
I think I'm still trying to figure it out. Where do I want to go when I grow up? And I think every day that sometimes a new door opens up, and you go, like today, you know, when you called and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" I went, "I'm really scared. That's going to be kind of scary, going out in public and admitting that I'm a psychic." And so I did. And, you know, I think every day a new door opens, and you've just got to be willing to be brave and face what I guess, you know, before you're born, you make a plan with God, and and God says, yeah, go play and have fun, and you come down here and you do this, and then all of a sudden the path just starts to open for you, and you have to be willing to see where you're going.
Yeah.
And I some days I'm a little trepid when I step out the door, and other days it's like, yep, bring it on, and let's see where we go.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really glad you're here.
I'm really happy to be here. It's really awesome space.
Oh, and I think, you know, I have friends who are psychic. I have friends who don't know that don't realize that they have these phenomenal gifts, and they don't even want to address it. They don't want to go there. They are who they are. They're busy with other things. That's fine. You know, it'll come to them when they're ready. But to know that there's a place you can go and kind of work with what you have and kind of, you know, get a broader perspective of what you could possibly be in tune with is really kind of it makes me feel good that there's places like that.
You know, the most challenging person that walks in the door is the one who says, I don't want to see this anymore. I get these dreams, I see people dying, I don't want to see these tragedies and these traumas anymore. And I feel really bad because all I can tell them is, I'm sorry, you're as shut down as you can be. Because that's when only the drama thing, the really big, the deaths, that's all that can get through those big things that had that powerful emotional punch to it. And so everybody's psychic, and we all have these abilities. It's whether you want to develop them or not. And what I like to tell these people who come in and they're really shut down like that is, you know, it's really not all you can see is this one piece because you've shut down so far that that's all that can get in. And once you open up and you let yourself have the whole experience, the good, the bad, the here it is, you know, it becomes a really, life just becomes a lot different of a place. It doesn't all have to be bad, or it doesn't all have to be good, or I don't have to do everything you say, because I can be right in my head and I can look at it for myself and decide what's best for me.
And the tools. I think having tools is, you know, with anything, whether it be trying to get through a new job, or you need tools.
You do, and when you're a very sensitive person, the more tools you have at your disposal, the easier it is to get through a day. And like I said, most people who come in are very sensitive anyway. You know, I can feel that person across the room, or you know, you walk into that room and it feels good or it doesn't feel good, or you know, you meet somebody you don't like immediately. You know, you've got bad karma with them, and they stay away because they're so sensitive. And so when you can teach them, you know, hey, you don't have to respond that way. You know, you can stop and just have your own life. It's a really awesome experience. I've taught the meditation classes for a long time, and to see people come in and they'll be in pain because they've been holding on to other people's energy for so long, and then you teach them how to ground, and they go, and they let go of it, and they go, I feel so good. I have this lady in my class now, and she has really bad back pain, and so she comes in, and one day she came in without her cane, and she says, I feel so good. And it's to me, it's just beautiful to see how people can, you know, how pain is just that foreign energy that gets stuck in our space that we just don't know we can let go of. And how do you teach them to let go of it and then protect themselves from getting other foreign energy, you know, put back into their space.
How many instructors are over there?
You know, I just had in Sacramento, we have a mission here in Sacramento. I have 5 brand new teachers, so I'm really excited. I've got 2, I want to say, seasoned teachers, and I have a new assistant that I'm really looking forward to. He'll be joining the teachers program here real soon, and I'm really excited about that. I think he's going to be great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So where is the Psychic Institute? They moved from
19th Street.
Okay.
We were here on 19th Street, and we've moved down. We're now at 5260 Elvis Avenue.
Okay.
It's a really quiet neighborhood.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you've got, how many classes do you teach a week?
We teach 3 to 4, sometimes 5. It depends on where the interest is, you know, who's interested in teaching what. We have our standard classes, meditation 1, meditation 2, healing 1, healing 2. I know in Berkeley, they do it a little bit different than we do here in Sacramento. They just teach a meditation class, they just teach a healing class, and then a men's class and a women's class, where we have 2 men's classes, we have 2 women's classes, because I like 6-week curriculum a lot, because that's what we teach. Because it gives you a time to try one of the tools in class, and you get to hear how it works for everybody else that's in class for you, kind of see if it's working right, you know, kind of get a clue if it's working right for you. And then you get to go home and practice it for a week. And then you come back and we'll ask you how it went. And if you have questions about that tool, and then we'll teach you a couple more things and let you practice it in class. And then you get to go home and practice. And I found that most people can keep a grounding cord. If we do that for 6 weeks, it's like something that I know people can take with them. And I think that everyone should come in and take a meditation class and get a grounding cord.
Oh, yeah. Imagine. So you were talking about the process of teaching someone to listen to the inside. Mm-hmm. Can you go into that a little bit further?
Let's see if I can. This could be a tricky one. Yeah, we have so much stimulus around us. You know, we have our aura. You as a spirit are much bigger than your body, okay? And then you as spirit probably only brought this much with you in this lifetime. I don't know where you're storing the rest of you. I could look at that if you'd like. But so you come into your body and you've got this energy field around you, and you go through your day and your energy field picks up stuff. You know, it's kind of like a lint roller or something sometimes, you know, yeah. You just, whoops. And then, and if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you pick up more of that because now you're magnetized. Or if you're happy, then you pick up more of that because, you know, because that's kind of how your energy field is magnetized. And so what we teach is kind of just sitting still and being quiet and being aware of that energy field around you and what's going on in your body and listening to what's going on, and then, is that you or is that not you? Is that you or is it not you? And kind of working your way or your awareness into the center of your head so that you can kind of clear the playing field and go, well, where do I want to go today? Where do I want to go tomorrow? We teach tools called mock-ups. It's where you can create what you want to have happen in the future. So, you know, if you wanted to do something really cool like come on this show, like I did a mock-up. Then, and you called, so see, so, you know, this is something that I did a long time ago. And, you know, I said, I need to get out of my closet and I need to tell people more what's going on. So once you quiet everything down and you get all of that foreign energy or that dust that you might have picked up today, you get to be here and you go, okay, world, this is what I want to create. How do I get from here to there? And I don't have to know that process. I just simply say, hey, universe, this is what I want. Okay. And if you don't have that other mock-up sitting out there that says, oh, you're going to die tomorrow, that takes precedence over that, then generally you go that way. That happens, and it's like a miracle space. It just does. Like you just called out of the blue. So I see that's a miracle.
And I can't even tell you why. It just was like one of those things. It just felt right. I thought this is the right thing to do. And it didn't surprise me that you called back.
See?
You can understand that.
So yeah, you know, it's what's supposed to happen happens,
yeah.
And it becomes very comfortable or very easy to, you know, manifest after
yeah.
that. But
I absolutely love it. It's super. But I do like the idea of, because you're right, you know, when you don't have the tools, you just have this, you know, you have this something, but you really don't know what to do with it, how to use it.
Yeah.
To go and learn how to control it, to, like you said, get rid of the negative energy and stuff like that is very valuable.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to teach these tools, and I get to practice them every day, and I get to play with them every day. It's really changed my life. You know, got to come back into that vibration of what we call kindergarten, where everything is simple. Every day is a new learning experience for me. I get to meet a new person. I'll walk in the door, and I had this gentleman walk in the door the other day, and he kind of scared me when he first walked in the door. You know, it's like, phew, you know, you can see all the foreign energy in their space, and he looked really kind of ugly. And then he turned around, and I said hello to him, and he just started giggling. And he says, I don't know why, I just feel like laughing when I walk in here. And I was like, oh, that's really kind of cool. Because, you know, I had checked all my tools. He's walking in the door, scary guy. Do I have my separation? Am I in my head? And he signed up for the Meditation 1 class immediately. He said it was just an awesome space to be in. And he's been doing really great. As a matter of fact, he got a promotion recently because he mocked it up.
Oh,
he decided
nice.
That's what he wanted in his life, and he created that. Or space for that to happen. I like to see miracles like that happen. People, like I said, you know, a lady walks in with a cane, and a couple weeks later she's walking without it, and that's really, you know, for me it's transformational. Like 23, 24 years ago, if you would have called, I would have just went and crawled under my bed. and stayed hiding. And now, I don't know, I want to share. I want other people to know about these things that happen, that it's miraculous. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, more and more, and I'm going to ask you that question. Is your student population increasing as time goes on?
We had a really big turnover recently. The director who was there before me, he had a stroke and he had to leave, and then our lease was up and we had to move, you know, so it's a bunch of traumatic things, and we lost a lot of students and a lot of people in the process, which happens when you move and change directors, and it's starting to pick up. Like I said, we just have a bunch of brand new teachers. We generally have 5 to 10 people in a classroom, so it's like you get a little bit of an experience what's going on a different perspective, but we have no clairvoyant students right now, and I think that's because of that changeover right now, and I'm hoping that changes soon and people get used to where we're at and they decide to come in and think they want to play. And besides that, it's kind of, last year was a tough year for everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but I would say when we first started the show, people were very reluctant to talk about psychic ability.
Yes.
And now it seems like it's almost becoming the norm. You know, people are sharing their stories, sharing their experience, sharing their gifts, you know, which is a beautiful thing, because isn't that what we want to do? Just open people's minds and hearts, because it makes life a better place to live. But yeah. What do you feel the intention is for what you do?
I think it's to make the place a nicer place to live in, to, teach us all that, we're here to learn a lesson. It's not necessarily good or bad. Some people come in, they've had a horrible life experience, and, you kind of like take that charge off of it and realize that, no, that this is the experience that they intended to have when they came in. They just didn't receive it the way they thought they would. And, you kind of get to take that step back and kind of clear that negativity out of things and put it at a place where, hi, I like myself, how are you today, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
I do too. And it's a really nice, it's a nice change of pace, because everywhere else you go, everybody's in competition. They'll stab you in the back and they'll walk all over you. And, being a sensitive person like I am, like you probably are, it's really easy to kind of let that happen and just go, I'm not going outside again. And I like to go out and play. I like the sunshine, and
good.
I like the flowers, and I just hope everybody can stop and smell the daisies today, because it's a beautiful day. So
that's awesome. Well, we're almost out of time. I can't believe this, but will you please give your information so everybody knows where to contact you?
My name is Glenda Gorman. You can find us at sacramentobpi.com. Our phone number, 916-441-7730. Sorry, but time to really tell you the information, right? And you can also reach us at directorsacbpi@gmail.com. And we have fairs once a month, so come in, get a quick reading if you want to know more about yourself. And we also have readings during the week if you're interested. It's a 2-hour thing where you get to sit down and those readers will tell you all about you for 2 hours.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is, but it's really, we have a structure that we use, and a lot of that's for training, and but it's a really awesome adventure.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Paranormal Connection.
The Paranormal Connection airs the first and third Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our companion show, Story Connection, airs the second and fourth Thursdays of each month. Each episode repeats the following Friday at 1:30 p.m. and Saturday at 5:30 a.m. Watch these programs online at the same air times by going to accesssacramento.org and clicking Watch 17. In the Sacramento region, you can see us on Comcast Channel 17 and on AT&T Channel 99. You can find previously aired shows on the Paranormal Connection YouTube channel. For information on upcoming shows and previous Paranormal Connection guests, go to paranormalconnectiontv.blogspot.com. You can contact us at paranormalconnectiontv@gmail.com. And don't forget, find us on Facebook, become a friend, and become a fan.
Glenda, we didn't get a chance to talk about your background in technology and business. So how does that kind of coincide with what you're doing now? Is it?
I get to set up all the computers at work. And it really doesn't really correspond to anything. I think those are things that I might have done in that world of gee, this is the metrics we expect you to perform to, and you got to do something with your life. And I don't see myself in that realm anymore. I see myself in a very different place.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like I said, I like to create more happiness for me and magic, and anybody who comes near me, I would like to have that same experience.
That's super. Well, we've got a couple minutes left. Anything that you would like to impart to the audience? Any more pearls you want to throw out there?
Any more pearls? I don't know. You got to be careful not to throw your pearls in front of the swine, right? Yeah. If you want to know more, please come see us. We're open pretty much every day now. Like I said, I have an assistant, so we're open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 2 to 10. And we're open most evenings because that's when we teach our classes. If anybody's interested in more, like I said, just come see us. We're having fun.
Good. Well, thank you again for coming on the show and sharing your expertise, and we loved having you.
Thank you for having me. I really loved coming. This was an awesome experience for me.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to my wonderful, fabulous crew who came out to volunteer their time tonight. And we hope that you will use some of these informative programs to go out there and live your life. Hopefully we're helping make your journey a little bit easier and providing you with information and tools to help that happen. So with that, we're going to say good night. Good night.